Welcome to Book to Blueprint, where powerful books become practical blueprints for real life. You do not need more information, you need execution. This is Book to Blueprint. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're not just going to talk about a big idea, we're building the actual blueprint for it. We're diving into Max Dickins' fantastic book, Improvise, and turning it into an action plan you can use today. All right, let's jump right in. Forget a typical book summary. This is your playbook. This is the step-by-step guide for becoming way more creative, a better collaborator, and honestly, just more confident no matter what your day or your boss throws at you. First things first, what are we actually trying to achieve here? What's the core outcome? If you follow this blueprint, what's the one thing you'll walk away with? It's pretty simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. You are going to build the deep, unshakable confidence that you can handle anything. So, look, it starts with things like becoming a better communicator or a more flexible collaborator. You can see how each of these things builds on the last. But the real magic, the real goal here, it's not just about collecting a bunch of new skills. It's about developing this incredible agility, this knack for turning unexpected challenges into your biggest opportunities. Okay, so let's talk about the big idea. What are we even talking about when we say improvise at work? I know, it's a word that gets thrown around and, frankly, misunderstood a lot. So let's just clear the air right now. Improvisation is really the art of making quick decisions and adapting when things don't go according to plan. It's about tapping into our natural ability to be generous, spontaneous, and to tell stories. The book has this amazing metaphor for it. Think of it like yoga, but for your soft skills. You know, just like yoga makes your body more flexible, improv makes your thinking, your communication, your whole way of being just more flexible and agile. And this is so important to get right. Improv is not about winging it or creating something from nothing. And it's definitely not the opposite of planning. Look at this. It's what you do when your perfectly good plan smacks right into reality. It's about using everything at your disposal, the people in the room, the ideas flying around, the energy to create the next step, not pulling a rabbit out of a hat. So how do we actually do this? Well, this whole mindset works because it runs on a simple set of rules. Think of it like an operating system, your Improv OS, that you're going to install for how you approach work, problems, and pretty much any interaction. These 5 rules you see here, they are the absolute foundation. We're talking about defaulting to yes and, so you're always building on ideas instead of blocking them. It's about listening so deeply that you're actually willing to change your mind. It's about seeing mistakes as gifts, seriously, and knowing when to take the lead versus when to support somebody else. Get these down, and it will totally change the game. All right, now for the super practical part. This is the core of the blueprint. This is the exact sequence of actions you can use, literally, in your next project meeting to tackle those big, messy challenges. And here it is, your creative problem-solving cheat sheet. It's a 4-stage process. First, you clarify. You figure out what the real challenge is. Then you ideate. This is where you go wild with yes and thinking and just generate a ton of ideas. After that, you develop. You pick the best ideas and make them stronger. And finally, you implement. You make a real plan and check out that last column. It even gives you the metrics to know if you're on the right track at each step. So good! Okay, an operating system and a plan are awesome, but they're pretty useless if you don't practice, right? So how do we make this stuff a real habit? Not just something you think about once a week, but something you do every single day. Let's get into the daily recurring behaviors. These 2 simple practices are absolute game changers. First, the 3-second pause. Before you jump in and respond to someone, just pause for 3 to 5 seconds. Ask yourself, what did I just learn? What's missing? How can I actually move this forward? The other one is a quick 5-minute journal before bed. What went well? What could have gone better? And what's the one big thing I'm focusing on tomorrow? This is how you bake continuous improvement right into your daily routine. And look, this whole mindset is captured perfectly by this Samuel Beckett quote. This isn't about being perfect. It's about trying, failing, and then trying again. The goal is not to avoid failure, it's to fail better. It's about embracing that process of practice and learning from every single stumble. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the pitfalls, the common traps people fall into when they try to put this into practice. If you know what they are ahead of time, you'll be able to sidestep them completely. You know what the biggest mistake is? Sticking to your script no matter what. If you're in a meeting and the energy just dies, you can't just keep plowing ahead with your plan. You have to adapt. Another huge one is judging your own ideas into silence. You got to be front-footed. Just trust your gut and share it. And of course, the classic mistake, saying no or yes but. Just stop. Your new default has to be yes and. Build, don't block. And it's so important to remember. This isn't just for the big, scary moments, like a huge presentation or some kind of crisis. The real magic, the real practice, it happens in all the tiny little encounters you have every single day. That's where you build the muscle. So that's it. That's the blueprint. You've got the core outcome, the big idea, your new operating system, the step-by-step plan, and the daily habits to make it stick. The rest of the show, well, that's up to you. Your life is an improvisation. So, what will you create next? If you have a book in mind that should be added to our list, comment below. If this blueprint helped you, subscribe, like, and build with us. More blueprints are coming. Stay intentional, stay consistent. We are doing this one book at a time. And remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So share this with them and grow together. Real progress becomes stronger when it is shared. Build your life one blueprint at a time. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you do.